morning, people. Today is the 25th of May 2023. First of all, I would love to say something about my feedback I'm getting from the videos. It's been really nice. People have said they're enjoying it. They're watching all the videos, and so I hope the channel will grow. I hope Um, and please, guys, subscribe to the videos would help me a lot because I do want to try and monetize them on the long run because that would help me out of my financial situation. And I need 1,000 subscribers. I've got 47, I think, at the moment. So I've still got a long way to go. So it would be a big help if you subscribe to my videos. So in this uh, sequence, which is 24, I think. Yeah, 24. I want to talk about my good friend and neighbor, Willymon. Willymon, the story with Willymon is quite interesting. I met him in court. His story about our meeting was that I was speeding with a Vespa. I don't really know why I was in court, some traffic thing, and he had some ticket too. I can't remember. Was it really speeding with a Vespa? Uh, and he always laughed about how somebody can actually speed with a Vespa. So that was one of his famous stories. He always loved to tell stories about shafts, and I'm gonna add some of these stories too. This might not work out in one thing. There's so much to say about Willymon. I think I'm gonna have to make at least maybe 2 or 3 videos about him. So anyway, so we met in court, and we just became friends right away. And then that was at the beginning. I was still looking for a property, and then in one of the videos, I already explained how we sat there one day, and he said, "Well, why don't you go up and have a look at the great house up at the top?" And I said, "Well, I don't know because I know that the lady wants $1 million for it, and I can't buy that, and she's only selling it with the whole property and so on." So and but eventually I did go up, and then the story unfolded as it was. So that was a regular thing. We would sit on the veranda, on his veranda, and drink rum and talk about life and everything. And he would tell me all these stories about all his celebrity friends and how he would have with Jack Nicholson and with um, um, Rolling Stones. With the Rolling Stones, he was friends with Mick Jagger. He was friends with. He painted a mural in his apartment in New York, and he was just he had everybody as friends at that time. It was just the '60s in New York, where a lot of the celebrities lived and had apartments and so on, and he was just in that scene. And so he talked about them, and yeah, I did meet a couple of them too over the years. I had dinner with um, Angelica Houston, and met a couple of royals who visited him, and I sat next to Ferguson once at a dinner party, and so I got to know quite a number of them too over the years, which, as I said at the beginning, I was not even quite sure, can somebody really know all these people? But that then, of course, convinced me that he was not only telling fibs. I mean, he did sometimes exaggerate a bit, especially when it came to the Shafts story. Shafts story. He loved to tell stories about Shafts. And so he always called me Basil Fawlty. That's funny. And yeah, so when in the times when I started having a lot of guests, I still wanted to see him. And as I could just only make one trip up a day, I used to bring in the guests to his. And then at one point he said, "Oh, Frank, I really like to see you, but it's a little bit too much with your guests and so on." So in the end, I had to sometimes leave the guests out in the yard, and they would wait patiently till we had a couple of drinks, and then come, and then I would drive up and so on. So I must say hats off, hats uh, kudos to the guests who were so patient, because they understood that I needed a little bit of private life myself too, and that was basically the only time when I um, wasn't in the directly connected to the business. So I really loved their patience with me at that time. And yeah, and I had a lot of really funny adventures. I talked about the boat adventure when we went over to Negril and got smashed with with mushrooms. And Willie was just a very eccentric character, and unfortunately, he died 2 years ago. Very sad. But he lived his life to a full extent. I mean, he didn't fame and fortune. He had fame and fortune at one time, and he was in the bohemian thing. But uh, unfortunately, his work was always, I think, underrated, because he actually did produce some really, really nice paintings and so on. And but nowadays, it's all abstract. Everything is like has to be abstract, and then those paintings picture uh, fetch millions of dollars. And somebody who really puts in the real work and actually creates a painting um, like Willymon did, they are not recognized in this time and age, because everything is like, yeah, so much is fake, and real things are just not appreciated. So I'm gonna put up a video, and I'm gonna put some of my paintings I have of him, because over the years, always when he was broke, he said, "Frank, can't you buy a painting of me?" Or he gave me a couple of paintings too. So I have a small collection of his paintings, and I think I'm gonna introduce those and show you them. I'm not sure if might be YouTube gonna ban that video, because some of these paintings are very kind of unusual erotic paintings. So I don't know if there's going to be a problem there. So I think, yeah, this is going to be just part one of Willymon stories. And yes, as I said, it was a big loss for all of us. But that's how life goes. So I think this is going to be this for today. I think I'm going to put a part two of Willymon tomorrow, and might be introduce the paintings too. But to all who knew him, he was a very charming character and a very eccentric person. He never bothered about business and money, and just so that was one of the reasons why he just never really got a financial success out of it. So anyway, that was it. Please like and subscribe, and if you can, do a little donation. It would help me at the moment. I'm really, really in a little sticky spot. Coolestcam@gmail.com, PayPal. So, but subscribe would be even more important. Subscribe to the videos. Please, please, please. Let the channel grow. I have, this can lead to a lot of things. I have some plans. I'm going to introduce them once the audience gets a bit bigger. I'm going to introduce how I see Shaftston going, and the future of it, and what would be possible. So have a wonderful day, and